Just a walking tour of the EBS Marinelab. This is the front door coming into the EBS Marinelab, which leads to the parking lot, which is right behind Mortensen Hall, where we have some of our sister graduate students there who study snakes. But this here is the EBS Marinelab, where we get to study the ocean and animals and creatures in the ocean. Right here next to our test kit is our ochre star setup. They're over 100 hours now here in the EBS Marinelab, and they've had their second feeding since they've arrived, and they're doing quite well. Being studied by one of our graduate students. We're very happy for that. They have done well and acclimated into our tank. And soon we'll discover what kind of foods give them their pigment. They have to have their water cooled, so here's a cooler. A counter that we get to work on, our very necessary tool which measures our salinity and ppK and our temperature. Nice bay window. It's dark outside. It's about 10 o'clock at night. This is where you see where we draw blood for some of the hermit crabs in the hermit crab hypoxia study. That's where the grad student gets to work on that one. This is the counter where the hermit crabs are getting tested for different levels of hypoxia. Soon to have a study on the effects of heavy metals off the coast of Los Angeles. Here's where some of the specimen hermit crabs are being studied in these private slots for them here. Right here we have our lionfish tank and triggerfish tank, 100-gallon. They've just been fed their silver side, so they're very content in there. The 100-gallon frag tank, you've seen this. We'll talk a little bit more about the kind of corals that we have in there. In the earlier post that we have, we'll get more specific, but here's a general look at them. These tanks hold the hermit crabs, the blue band hermit crabs that are being studied. Just the two graduate students here have their crabs housed here. This is their tanks. This is our freezer unit, and that is our fridge unit where we have samples of blood, and we also for the various animals that we have here, mainly hermit crabs. And this is the Berlin tank, meaning that the filtration is the Berlin filtration, using only live rock and high flow. You'll see the sailfin tang and a maroon clown. That sailfin tang actually is supposed to have been in the frag tank, but since he started eating a brain coral, he got put into this tank. So he gets to live here. There are two fire gobies that are being quarantined, but there's one here in this tank. I'll walk over to the quarantine tank, a new quarantine tank. We have another sink over there, which is very effective and helpful for us. Empty tank and some supplies that we need. Siphon tube that all fish keepers have. And our new setup is this quarantine tank. I need to really get one here, so I have one here. Quarantine tank, and you see we have the two firefish getting ready to go to the Berlin tank. In about 10 days, if it all goes well, they'll go in there. So a quick overview of our EBS Marinelab. Very exciting to be in here. Spend almost every day in here working on the fish. The 180, where the tangs are, and soon to hold maybe 2 or 3 more marine angelfish here at the EBS Marine Lab.